All right, as we continue this morning, we're going to turn now focus to the economy. The economic fallout from Hurricane Harvey is going to be massive. We know this. We are already seeing higher gas prices. We can expect greater overall economic impact. The unemployment rate held steady, but what does that all mean?
Well, joining us now to talk about the economic fallout from Harvey, the unemployment report, upcoming tax reform discussions, Mark Avallone. He is a wealth management expert and a Forbes magazine contributor.
Mark, we appreciate you coming in this morning. Obviously, in a disaster like this, there is a flood of aid that goes into the place. But we're talking about a region of the country which is responsible for a lot of the oil production in our country. There is a lot of aspects to the economic fallout, people being relocated. You can't, I like to say you met one disaster, you've met one. However, are there things about what's going on in Houston right now that people throughout the country need to brace themselves for as these ripple effects begin to spread out?
Well, this is a real human tragedy, first and foremost, that people's lives are affected. When we start to repair the economy around there, it's going to take a long time. Jobs have left. Jobs may not come back. But for the most part, it's temporary. Americans are resilient. The repair efforts are going to start immediately. I think it's going to be a serious challenge, but it's going to be a temporary challenge.
Mark, I want to just not to dismiss the significance of this, but I do want to get a minute with you to talk about the tax reform speech that the president gave this week and get your thoughts on it. A lot of talk about the fact that if he removes loopholes, that he's going to hurt people like himself. And the second question is that the details were lacking in the speech, but there is some concern from people that if he does remove some of the deductions, the individual deductions, that maybe the mortgage interest deduction will go away, maybe the charitable deduction will go away. Do you have any insight into what we might expect and, you know, if this tax reform package could really happen?
Well, this is where the special interests that call Congress and their congressmen are going to take a big role. I highly doubt the realtor industry is going to sit idly by and let that valuable deduction disappear. At best, it may go down to interest on $500,000 worth of debt, down from the $1 million. It's not going away. Charitable deductions will remain something that people can benefit from. Remember, these the people we send to Congress, they go back and they worry about backlash. So I don't think you're going to see massive takeaways from individuals, especially with the 401k. We've heard that people are going to have lower contribution limits. I cannot see that happening, given that we have a retirement planning crisis in this country. It would run totally counterproductive to what public policy we actually need.
One of the bubble issues, though, as you look at it, there is a midterm election coming up almost a year from now in November. Aren't Republicans going to need to have at least the tax cut if they haven't been able to get any of these other things they want? They've got to have a tax cut because they've got to go back to those districts in their states and produce something which would be the rationale for the re-elections.
Well, this year is going to be a washout for the Republicans if we don't get some tax reform or at least a tax cut. And the tax cut is what this economy needs to keep it strong going into 2018. The stock market has priced in some of that expectation, and it's critical both for the continuation of economic recovery, the stock market recovery, and any Republican that wants to have an easy election.
All right,
Mark Avallone, we appreciate you coming in this morning and joining us on this Sunday talking about the economy.
Thank you.